Joe, how are you, buddy? We know we're in the right spot with the car cover.
It had a whole construction around as the city made me build it, but the 65-mile-an-hour winds decided to put it over here.
Okay, got it. Here's the thing. Growing up, I guarantee no one watching had a poster of the family station wagon hanging on the wall. No one did. Gene, you didn't. I certainly didn't. But so many people have incredible memories from the family station wagon. And this 1970 Plymouth Belvedere that Joe owns has one heck of a story to tell. It's good to see you, Joe. How are you, buddy? This is Gene. Everyone, this is Joe. And underneath this tarp right here, underneath this car cover, is something really, really cool. You ready to do this, Joe? Yeah. Let's do it. Well, officially welcome to Cars, Shops, and Collections. And my name is JC. And everyone, this is Joe Klein. Thank you so much for having us here, downtown Las Vegas. This is awesome. Let's take the cover off. I have so many questions. I know you've got stories to tell about your 1970 Plymouth Belvedere. Ready? Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it.
I like to refer to her as the Ice Blue Express.
Was this the original color then, right?
No.
No, it's not.
It was aquamarine, metallic aquamarine, and my dad didn't like it, so he repainted it this color.
Ah, this is so cool. You told me what, 5,000 of these were made?
Approximately 5,000 of the Plymouth version were made of the Belvedere with the SlantSix.
Okay.
They also made them with the bigger motor, and they also upgraded it with the trim to make it the satellite.
Okay.
And then they're also the Dodge Coronet.
Yes.
And they made a lot more of those.
Okay, here's the thing though. Come around to the front end. Look at that front end. That's no different than a Plymouth Roadrunner.
It is a Roadrunner.
Than a GTX. That is one of the coolest front ends. Here you back out and you see it's a wagon, but that is one of the coolest front ends. I mean, I love the look of it. But you say there's some 5,000 of these made. You know, if you had a Roadrunner or a GTX, people saved those. They were muscle cars. People, this is the family station wagon. They drove it until it was, you know, rusted out and done with it, and they got rid of it. There's not that many of these out here.
This was a California car. Now it's been Nevada, so it's not rusted.
Yeah, right? But the backstory is your dad bought this brand new off the lot.
Yes.
Wow.
Van Nuys Chrysler Plymouth.
And
I think it was $1,875.
No. But you're selling this?
Yes.
Okay. So
like I said, I don't have the time to fix it up the way it should be. I'd rather see somebody get it who's either going to use it for parts or fix it.
Yeah, get it back on the road. So if you're interested in buying Joe's 1970 Plymouth Belvedere, we'll put contact information below in the description and comments. Reach out to me. We'll get you in touch with Joe, and we'll get the deal and everything worked out. But how many memories do you have inside this car?
We drove this cross country 3 times.
Did you really?
Yes. Well, yeah, I played hockey at a high school in New England for a couple of years, and this is what took me back there. And everything works. When I was working on it, well, I got it, I believe in 1979, the engine was rebuilt. Okay. I don't know what, I probably just rings and bearings. I bought it off my dad in '81, and I drove it for 22 years.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was my daily driver for a long time. Then it wasn't because I had a truck. Then I went back to it.
Did it have the roof rack?
No.
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 No roof rack. Chrome trim? No.
No trim. It was an absolute base. My dad was a cheapskate, so it didn't even have a radio.
Okay. Radio delete. You don't need that back in 1970. Original hubcaps.
Yeah, those original hubcaps.
Original hubcaps. Come on, this is cool. And you were telling me, I don't know if you caught this on camera, that it was a Plymouth Satellite, that the Brady Bunch?
Yeah, the Brady Bunch had a yellow version of it for one season. It was also the command car for Adam 12 for one season. A black and white version of it, yes.
Can we open up and see inside of it?
Oh yeah, everything works.
What was your station wagon growing up? My parents had a 1980 Chevrolet Caprice Classic. It was yellow, we called it the banana boat. So many fond memories inside that station wagon. Did we save that wagon? No, I think it caught on fire on the 95 outside of Philadelphia. These things, people got rid of them. So to have one in front of us, it is so cool. SlantSix?
Yes, that's why it was never gotten rid of. You can't kill those motors.
You can't, right?
It's had the water pump replaced, the alternator replaced, and I think it's on its 3rd carburetor. It's the 4162 single barrel Holly.
Come on.
These things went... Manual brakes, manual steering.
Right, yeah, no power brakes, no AC?
No.
No AC.
It's got the typical SlantSix problems. It's got the cracked exhaust manifold and the busted stud, but they all have that.
They go forever.
Yes.
When's the last time you had it running?
Oh, about 19 years ago.
Okay.
I drove it in here, parked it, and then I would come out every so often and start it, and then just work got in the way. And
I like the patina on it. It looks cool. It looks really cool. Does it open up? Can we see inside
yes,
of it? All right.
the only door it doesn't open is the rear, is the passenger rear.
Okay. Ready, Gene, to go back to 1970?
That should open. Might be locked. I know the driver's side works.
It's locked. It's not stuck, everyone. It is locked. And why Joe has opened up this, I want to take a moment right now to thank everyone for watching the show and supporting the show. So, oh, it's open. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means so much to me. And then plus we have 219 other episodes. So if you want to go back and watch another episode, please do. Thank you for watching. And thank people like Joe for showing us these awesome cars.
I guess it is stuck.
Okay.
Wait, we can come. It is. We'll come from the other side then.
Well, that's the business side.
All right, ready, Gene? There it is. So there's no radio, no AC.
The instrument cluster's in the back. It was put back. It's wrapped up in that padding. It was restored a couple of years ago.
Okay.
About 20 years ago.
How many miles do you think?
257,000. I don't have to think, I know.
That's great. It's just getting started. The original seats here, right?
Yes, I had them reupholstered because a neighbor of mine years ago used to upholstery, so he redid them for me. It had no carpeting either. It came with vinyl floor mats on the steel.
Did it really? Wow, this truly was base, huh?
Oh yeah, it was as bargain basement as you could get.
The vinyl seats, right?
They were, but now they're
Cloth?
cloth.
You go back to 1970.
The back seat is still original upholstery. It's still got
Is it?
the vinyl. I don't know if it's even there.
That was kind of like a pitch for those vinyl seats. They called it ice cream proof, like soda proof and child proof. Because you were buying this to drive the family around back in 1970.
Yeah, we were my mom, my dad, and 4 kids.
What's that warning emergency exit? Is that from a bus?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not a standard.
It was the family truckster, man. You had to have a warning for the kids to get out.
There's a warning logo on each fender cheek too.
You said there's no, I mean.
No power windows.
Right here.
It cranks.
Can I slide in here, Gene?
Yeah, sure.
A lot of the plastic's deteriorated.
Yeah, but it's been sitting here for a long time. So there's no radio.
The steering wheel is worn absolutely smooth.
So did you put your hand on that, Gene? Check that out, man. No one's touched that for 20 years. There we go. But look, you see the.
And believe it or not, this car got stolen once when I drove it to LA.
Really?
It used to have my all-time favorite Positraction torque twisters with US turbine rims on it.
Uh-huh.
And I had a Jensen stereo in it. I was listening to music while I was working on it. And the next day I came out and was, who borrowed my car?
How did you get it back? How long was it gone for?
A day and a half. Friend of mine spotted it on the freeway in Pomona.
Did he really? You called the cops?
They towed it immediately, so I had to go to a junkyard and get it. It was missing the rims, the tires, and the stereo.
Is this the original fuel cap?
No, that's off a 69 Charger.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't see that on a 70 Plymouth Belvedere. This was the last year of the Belvedere, by the way.
Yeah,
It went away
this
after
model, this style, but yeah, they discontinued the Belvedere.
Until they came out in the 1980s in the form of a great television show.
It was 68 through 70 were the only years for this particular B model.
Does the rear hatch open?
Yes. It's the dual one, the door tailgate.
Oh yeah, come on.
This is a security system. After you lock it, you pull this out and no one can get into it.
Look at that, that still works.
So
Did it have the optional back third seat that faces out?
it came with it, but this one does not have it.
In my parents' station wagon, so many things to talk about right here. But my parents' station wagon, the Caprice Classic, had that third seat.
That flipped up and you were looking backwards.
Look out, which, if you had it, who else got motion sickness? I would get motion sickness. And then it was the most awkward thing in the world, where you'd be at a stoplight and you're sitting here and you're staring at the car and you're like, hey, yeah, okay, what do we do? It was the most awkward thing ever, but it was cool as a kid. What's this here, locked for the door gate getting out?
No, that's you pull it one way, it opens as a door. You pull it the other way, it opens at a gate.
No
but
kidding.
it's not lubricated enough to work to do that.
Well, that's cool that you have that. And
That
then
was, I think, the only option that my dad actually got on this car. Yes.
check the boxes. I'm just going to check one. Open up the gate different
I
ways.
think it just came with it. I think that's the only way they did the door. This is off a 69 Ford Torino wagon. I put it on there because I used to drive with the back window open because no air conditioning. It forced air in and kept the fumes out.
Oh, okay.
Now I was going to say that looks familiar because we had the Torino wagon.
Did you really? That was
Yep.
your
With
family
the,
wagon?
with the fake wood paneling on
Yes,
the side.
yes.
This is the back end of the luggage rack. I just
That's
took
so
the
great.
front and back and put it on here.
Let's do this, Gene. If you're made it this far in the video right now, just come on, take a second, go into the comments and tell us what your family wagon was. Caprice Classic, the Torino with the wood trim. We had the fake wood trim on ours as well. Does this pop up or no?
Yes.
I'll let you do it.
That's the spare tire. Spare tire well is there actually. And then this is just
The hidden compartment, right?
all the parts you need. New exhaust manifold I never
Yeah.
installed. Not new, junkyard. Had some other very miscellaneous parts.
But this was kind of like that hidden compartment to hide some stuff, right?
Well, it's the same exact floor plan as a 4-door or a 2-door, and that's where the spare tire would sit.
Got it.
This would be the trunk. They added that,
Okay.
so you'd have this for storage. Never was really sure why they did it like that, but that's where it went. Came with the old bumper jack.
Yeah,
Sure,
and
yeah.
then there's a little the hole where you put the jack, right?
You hook it wherever, yeah.
Yeah, you'd hook it into the
Yeah.
little bumper. And then
Things
you would
were
have
done.
that little ratchet thing, right?
Yeah, square plate about 6 inches square. You'd stick it in,
Most
and then you
unstable
jack
thing in
it.
the world,
Yes.
too.
Yes,
And that thing-
yeah.
yeah.
Dangerous.
It's so dangerous, right?
I remember because
There's the glove compartment box door. And
Okay.
the
Oh, sure.
ashtray and
Can I
the,
open up that door over there?
I might open. I don't know. I don't go into this car a lot. Too many memories.
I really do, Joe. I'm just not saying this. I really think this is so neat, and I think someone watching is going to be all over this because before I came out, I was looking. You cannot find a 1970 Plymouth Belvedere Station Wagon for sale anywhere. I looked Bring a Trailer. I looked Facebook Marketplace all over the place. You can't
I've
find
only
it out
ever
there.
seen. Yeah, I thought it might come.
Well, yeah.
I've only ever seen 2 other ones running.
There's one if you look online that actually a lot of people.
The metal on the door will tell. That's the original color of the car.
Where?
The top part of the door. It's fire mist aquamarine or something.
Right here?
Right above the door panel. Below the window, between the door panel and the window.
Where?
There's a piece
Here?
of metal.
This?
Yes.
Here.
Yeah, that blue paint.
Okay. That was the original color.
Yeah, it was aquamarine fire mist or something like that.
Yeah, there's one. There's 2 I've seen online. One, it's all souped up hot rod, and then another one has turned it into a Roadrunner tribute. So it's the Belvedere wagon, but they got all the Roadrunner trims and horn and everything on it, and it's cool.
Back when I was a mechanic many moons ago, we toyed with the idea of turning this into a Superbird,
Oh my gosh!
building the nose and
Yes.
putting the wing on it. But you know, when you're a mechanic, you're always working on someone else's car. You never get to work on your own.
This was the.
That's the instrument cluster.
Can I pull it out?
Yes. That's been completely reworked.
Look at that.
Yeah, seriously, man.
Clean.
The only thing it didn't have, for some reason, it came with no oil pressure gauge.
Wow. This is the original. This has been.
Yeah, it was refurbed by a company that's since out of business here.
Yeah. So, 55, but this is on its 3rd trip to 100, right?
Yeah, so it'd be
255. So you got to see it flip over a couple times. Do you remember where you were when it flipped?
The first time it went over, it was I think it was when we were traveling to Ohio in it, and we stopped, took a picture of it. And the second time, when I used to drive it back and forth to LA 2-3 times a month,
Yeah.
it was on one of those.
See, you remember those moments. You do. My parents had it was a 1977 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL. Sounds real fancy, but it was not. And I remember when we were in that, or actually, I was actually driving it, and it hit 300,000 miles. This thing was a rust bucket. But I remember exactly where I was the moment it hit 300,000 miles. Those are the milestones you remember. That's really cool.
I was gonna say earlier, I remember that flimsy jack and that little hole because on our Torino we slammed into a snowbank, and we had to pull out that jack.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Not here in town.
No,
Yeah.
no, this is in Oregon. Yeah. Snow weather.
Cool stuff. Joe, this is really, really neat, man. And I know you have no problem selling it.
I'd love to keep it, but like I say, when you have the time, you don't have the money. When you have the money, you don't have the time.
Yeah, exactly. But someone out there, I think, will buy it and get it back on the road. You can't find these anywhere. Everyone has great memories.
The reason my dad bought this particular car, you can put a 4x8 sheet of plywood in the back. It has to stick out the window about 6 inches, but
Really?
it would fit. That's why he bought it.
That's so. Do you remember? And it was in Van Nuys,
Van Nuys
California.
Chrysler Plymouth.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
Somewhere in the annals of all the stuff I own, I have the original bill of sale and the original owner's manual, which is more of a pamphlet than anything else. And I still have the original key.
That's cool. All right.
But like I said, when it got stolen, they slide hammered the ignition out, so basically you stick anything in it, it'll start. But
Okay.
it got to the point where something went wrong with it, so you just click it on and you press the windshield washer button to start the car because the windshield washer tank rotted out 30 years ago.
All right. Well, Joe, thank you so much for sharing your family
pleasure.
treasure right here, and it is for sale. So if you want it, again, we'll put information below in the description. We'll get you, reach out to me. I'll get in touch with Joe if you want, and put your phone number down there. But it's great stuff, man. Thank you so much, and thank you all for watching. This was really, this was a great episode. This was good. If you want your car, shop, or collection featured on the show, then shoot us an email at carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. That's carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. And thanks for watching, and be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of Cars, Shops, and Collections.